We've got the now 5-time world 100-metre champion Shelley-Ann Fraser-Pryce against the new world 200-metre champion Shericka Jackson. The two Jamaicans going head-to-head very early in the programme. And then a little bit later on, we can look forward to a brilliant men's 200 metres. The 2-time world champion now, Noah Lyles of the USA, taking on his compatriot Michael Norman, who won his first world title at 400 metres, but is a sub-22nd man at the shorter distance as well. Lots to look forward to. I'm Steve Cram, and our very first event is the 400-metre hurdles as athletes gather towards that World Diamond League final in Zurich in a few weeks' time. And Tim Hutchings with me. Tim, points now, all important.
They are indeed, Steve, yes, and quite a few athletes here, of course, those without maybe medals from the World Championships or the Commonwealth Games. There's a young lady who has a gold medal from the World Championships. Sydney McLaughlin competed in Jekesfehova in Hungary on Monday evening, around 51.68 to win the 400 metres hurdles there. She was only checking out Hungary, apparently, in Budapest, in the new stadium with the facilities for next year's World Championships. Sydney McLaughlin not racing here tonight, clearly, but yeah, she is a pretty famous spectator here. So, from these 8 women in the 400-metre hurdles, Kachuk goes on the outside, a semi-finalist in Eugene, finalist in Tokyo last year. Lena Kloster, not at the World Championships. A PB was too late for the World Championship selection, we think. Russell Clayton of Jamaica goes in lane 6th. World Championship bronze medalist. 6th in Eugene, that championship bronze back in 2019. 4th in the Commonwealth Games. Rishkova goes in lane 5. 8th in Eugene, 5th in Tokyo last year. Really good athlete, Ukrainian. Good lane draw for her too. Jana Rudrov of Panama goes in lane 4. 7th in Eugene. Looked tired on Monday evening. Was 2 seconds slower than her time in Eugene. Geneve Russell, well, the Commonwealth champion from last week. The semi-finalist, that's all in Eugene, but took a silver medal in the 4x400 metres relay in Oregon, where she ran the second leg in 49.9, not bad for a hurdler. Ayumi de Folorunzo, semi-finalist in Eugene, the Italian champion, took a 7th place in the World Championships in the long relay. And there, Camille Serry of France, belongs to the Nice Côte d'Azur club, so this is a home meet for her. The French athlete in lane 1 hasn't raced since the 1st of July, when she was second in the Mediterranean Games in Algeria. Well, the meeting record is a pretty impressive 52.63 by Lucinda Demas. Goes back to 2009, over 13 years old, that record. The world best, of course, is the world record by Sydney McLaughlin, an interested spectator. 50.68 she ran on the 22nd of July to put up almost science-fictional figures for the one-lap hurdles. Sarah France goes in 1, Folorunzo of Italy 2, Geneve Russell, the Commonwealth champion, in 3, Woodruff 7th in Eugene in 4, Rishkova 8th in Eugene in 5, Russell Clayton, the 6th placer, goes in 6, Lena Kloster of Norway in 7, Kachuk, a semi-finalist at the World Championships in Eugene, in lane 8. Well, away they go. Who's most up for this? Quite a good start from Lena Kloster there, second to left for Norway. Also good aggressive running from Jana Woodruff there. Right in the centre, just right of centre in lane 4. She's already up on Rishkova, a Ukrainian. Nice run, a steady running too from Geneve Russell of Jamaica. Second to right at the moment. Russell goes in lane 3, looking really smooth, gradually making up progress on Woodruff. Really aggressive running from Clayton, though, in the yellow, left a picture. There is Clayton now. She's out in lane 6, the Commonwealth Games 4th placer. She might be one athlete with a point to prove. Well, she should have been amongst the medals, but it's a compatriot, Geneve Russell, in 3, who is the biggest challenge at the moment, begins to get her nose in front as the Commonwealth champion. She's had a busy time since the World Championships, but she's coming through now with Russell Clayton. It's going to be a turnaround of their Commonwealth positions. Well, Clayton, 4th at the Commonwealth Games, where she was denied a Jamaican 1-2-3 by Van der Walt of South Africa, who took the bronze. She finished in 4th. There defeats her compatriot, Geneve Russell, in lane 3, who is the Commonwealth champion, who was over in lane 3. Personal best for Clayton, 53.33. Really good running, Steve. Just the battle she needed, even though Russell was 3 or 4 lanes to her left.
Well, the these two have raced each other so many times this year, going back to the Jamaican Championships, and it's been a tussle all the way through. And you mentioned that Clayton had the better of the World Championships, and then it was those fortunes reversed. Through the first 200, I thought Russell had gone really well here just to try and keep a teammate in the sights. And if you're watching them, they were rising almost exactly the same time. Just watch them as they're coming into this flight here. They've got another two to go after this one, and it doesn't really change until off the last barrier. And you're right, Clayton got run down by, remember that Van der Velde finished so fast, the South African at the Commonwealth Games. She wasn't to be denied in the same way today. She came off the last barrier, a little bit more momentum, and managed to just get that half a metre before the line. And new personal best, as you mentioned, Tim. Season's best for Russell as well. The two of them, never much between them, but tonight Clayton gets the win.
Well, maybe a degree of consolation there for Rochelle Clayton. There it is, 53.33 for the Jamaican Clayton, ahead of Russell, the Commonwealth champion, a season's best for her as well. And Woodruff, 54.13 for Panama, a good third place. Much better run from Woodruff than when she ran in the July Memorial on Monday. She looked very tired there.
Well, the men's long jump had a very good, high-quality competition. Masso, who is coming to this in pretty good form. He gets huge, great speed. The Olympic bronze medalist. Disappointing not to get a medal for him in the World Championships. Just missed out. And it wasn't a really high-class competition at the World Championships. He with an 8.35 in round two. That's the best he's managed all season long. The 23-year-old Cuban. Looking sharp, looking good. A little nod of the head as if to say, yeah, that's what I meant to do. Great stuff from him. Great excitement as well from the Cuban support contingent. So that set an early mark, and with Tentoglu and Dendi and others in the field here, Montla, it was a mark that many of them haven't reached it this year.
Tentoglu, Miltiadis Tentoglu of Greece, has had an incredible year. Silver medal at the World Championships. Will have been frustrated with that behind Jianan Wang of China. But his consistency is amazing. He is the Olympic champion, remember, world indoor champion earlier on this year in Belgrade. And that from Tentoglu, a big old jump. Came in round three. He opened with a no jump, then an 8.27, then 8.31, almost catching Masso. But listen to this, the second half of his competition, round 4, 8.30, and this is after the 8.31, 8.30, round 5, 8.29, round 6, 8.30. You couldn't do that if you tried. He peppered that zone around the 8.30 mark. Astonishing consistency, like a machine. Is the Greek, just 24 years old. He is the Olympic champion, had to settle for silver in Eugene and has to settle for second place tonight with that 8.31 in round three, just missing Masso by 4 centimetres. Frustrating for him, but his consistency is a fabulous quality to be able to lean back on the man whose idol, ironically, is Ivan Pedroso. Tentoglu, as a child, his dream was to become a MotoGP rider. Well, now he's taken up something slightly more gentle. He likes painting and playing the piano. What a contrast! What a contrast is that? That was the best of his series.
Well, this was Marcus Dendi, who wins the award for nothing else for sartorial elegance. And trying to get the crowd involved, which is great. Great entertainer, former world indoor champion. Looked as though it was going to be a good year for him, didn't it, when he took a bronze medal of the world indoors in Belgrade, but really hasn't got things going at all. And another one who had a disappointing world championships. But tonight, found his best jumps of the season. 2-3 times.